Hello everybody, my name is Shaman Rabbit. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about something pretty upsetting in my personal opinion. If you have not been on the internet lately or you've somehow been living under a rock, Five Nights at Freddy's has came out and like the reviews are starting to come to the surface. Not from like the super big critics or anything, but like because their embargo doesn't really like end until I think the 27th, which is when I'm going to go see the movie. So anything I say is pure speculation, except for what I've seen in the trailers, and that's all I'm going to base what I believe on. This is not going to be a super scripted video. Usually, like when I talk about these kinds of things, I'll have at least like a list of things I'm going to talk about at the very least. But right now, I'm kind of just going to ramble and just give my own thoughts on the situation, because if you don't know, there's some reviews starting to come in from people who's seen the movie in the UK. People who like FNaF and people who never really got into the games but was curious to see the movie. And it's concerning to say the least, and I figured I'd talk about it, make my own statement, and make some personal predictions on what's going to be in the movie. I was already going to make a whole video like scripted, like the script was already written. It's like what do I think is going to be in the FNaF movie, but I don't see that becoming like, I don't see that getting out before I end up seeing the movie. And it's going to feel like kind of cheap because I live in the United States. I don't want to release my prediction on the FNaF movie, you know, after I've already gone to see the movie. It would be pointless as hell. I'm also going to release a spoiler review on the FNaF movie because I know I'd end up accidentally spoiling something, so I can't do a spoiler-free review. But yeah, there's been a few reviews as of late. All the FNaF people, like people who love the FNaF series, they've been it's been pretty positive. There's been a couple complaints here and there, but it hasn't really been that bad. And I'm like, oh, well, if Daco and Raz and 8-Bit Ryan, if they all enjoy it, then maybe I'll enjoy it too. Or maybe all the other FNaF fans will, or people in general. I was wrong, to say the least, because then I woke up this morning to find a bunch of reviews coming out from people who are not really a fan of the franchise. Most of it regarding the jump scares and the story overall feeling pretty just all over the place and doesn't have a proper structure to it. I'm going to read off some of these right now to kind of give you some context. One of the ones I'm seeing right now is, it never really feels like more than a tickling of elements off a list. The movie openly has the trappings of FNaF, with a little of the appeal or tone of the games, which leaves you wondering who's it for. It's not tense or odd enough for long-term fans, while also not being engaging enough for newcomers. Yeah, which is something that's hard to do with a video game franchise, because if you don't understand that world, how are you going to be able to get into that world in a movie format? I don't know where it was, but they were mainly talking about how it lost its potential because it was PG-13, which I was one of the people who would have been on the side of it rather being at rated R, but they had to, and they already confirmed it. They were wanting it to be PG-13. They had the intention of it being PG-13 because a lot of the fan base now, whether or not you want to admit it, is mostly kids, and they want to go see this movie. But with what happened, it's pretty concerning. I'm going to try not to let these reviews kind of persuade how I see the movie. I'm still pretty excited for it. There's just some things I'm going to have to really keep into account and try to... I've been trying to keep my expectations low for a while now, even since the trailers came out. I don't want to get them up too high and be super disappointed when I watch it. You guys will see a video of me and all my friends going to see the movie. We'll be like super happy and excited. And we'll probably come out either super pissed off, disappointed, or we'll all be like, hey, that was like worth the 8-year wait, which I just don't see it being worth the 8-year wait. But I'll be like, hey, I'm just happy it's here. I'm happy it's finally a thing that we can talk about and say, hey, I was there when the FNaF movie came out. Like, something like that, if you know what I'm saying. But like, I completely agree with some of these reviews, how like I was not expecting it to be scary. So when they're saying, oh, it's not scary, makes complete sense. It's, even though it is Blumhouse, it's hard to do good jump scares with fluffy, cute, colorful animatronic characters. Like, it's not easy to do that. except for Chuck E. Cheese because they're just straight up creepy. They're just kind of cute and cuddly looking. Um, just looking more. A lot of it's the same kind of idea. Yeah, it's just, and I'm still predicting that the Rotten Tomatoes score, because right now, as of right this minute, there is no Rotten Tomatoes score because the reviews have not came out for that yet, and I believe the Rotten Tomatoes score will be probably around 25%. I know that seems so fucking low, but realistically, based on what I'm seeing from other places like IMDb, where is it? Their reviews was like, I don't know. Let me check. It says 4.1 out of 5 for audience reviews. And this is 97% like the movie on Google. But I'm seeing it's hard because it's audience reviews and not critics. And critics are kind of like part of what makes a movie like, okay, are we going to make more of these? And are we going to keep Emma Tammy as the director of this franchise? I hope they make sequels. Well, then again, depending if this movie is good. If I find this movie shitty, I'm just going to say, let's just leave it at that. Let's not dig this franchise into the ground anymore. Although, that would also go into, if they have some sort of, like, cliffhanger at the end of the movie, like, towards the credits or after the credits, you know, that's going to be upsetting because I'm going to be like, oh, crap, this movie was shitty, but they're literally setting up a sequel, and I hate it when movies have, like, unfinished stories. Like, that bothers me to no end. Or it's the same idea. If it has a finished story, it has, like, a complete closure, and then out of nowhere, it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, we're making another movie. It doesn't make sense to me. But, yeah, we're going into the predictions of what is going to be in the movie. My big one right now is that, because Emma Tammy a while ago confirms, like, oh, there's going to be a secret character. And everyone was like, oh, it's going to be Shadow Freddy. And then, like, Shadow Freddy showed up in, like, that 9-minute long video that Universal had unlisted that Scott, like, gave us the link for in Freddy in Space 3. But I don't think it's Shadow Freddy. I believe it is the marionette. Solely because I just don't see why it would be Shadow Bonnie or Shadow Freddy. Like, I think Shadow Freddy was kind of in there just, like, to tease people. I think I think the puppet makes the most sense because I could see the puppet being there for the very end. Like, he's like this crazy reveal, like, oh, the puppet's here, and the puppet, like, scares him into the spring-lock suit and he dies or something like that. I don't know. Like, having the kids coming back, like, if that happens and then scares him to the suit, I guess that'll work too. Like, we already all know Matthew Lillard's William Afton. He's gonna be in the Springtrap suit, and it's almost inevitable that he's gonna get spring locked. And I wouldn't be surprised if it plays just like the Silver Eyes, where he gets kind of like dragged away by the kids or whatever. I already kind of figured that the movie wasn't gonna be scary. That was gonna be part of my predictions for the movie. That wasn't gonna be scary, but I've looked at some of the reviews. By the way, I have looked for spoiler-free reviews only. I have not seen any spoilers yet. I'm aware they are out there, which I've actually kept myself from TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, at least in terms of, like, the tags related to my FNAF. If I'm going on those sites, I literally go straight to my search page and look up, like, stuff I want to see. I don't go through my feed because I know there will be spoilers there, and I don't want to get spoiled because I've been waiting 8 years for this shit. The puppet was a big one. We already know Foxy's sprinting. Power out sequence. I think there will be a power out sequence. I'm probably forgetting some, like, huge things that I was thinking of earlier. Going back to the puppet though, I feel like I don't think the puppet will be like the puppet everyone knows. I think he'll probably be destroyed. Like, because FNAF 2 is a prequel, right? I just don't see why they would have the puppet be in the FNAF 2 location and then he be in the FNAF 1 location, if that makes sense to anybody. So I feel like he'd at least be somewhat withered or destroyed. I don't know, though. That's how I would see it if the puppet's in it. I hope he is. That'd be a really fucking cool twist, even though it's so predictable. The spring lock scene, everyone's already pretty much predicted that. I have a small feeling that at least one of the people that break in is gonna survive. I don't think all four of them are gonna die. Um, Simply because of the fact that one of the actors was like, "Oh, don't rule out Hank's death," like, or something like that. Huh? You know, I don't know. I think one or more will end up surviving, but we don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, I think that will be really it for the predictions. If I'll probably have a whole list of predictions on like my Twitter or my YouTube community tab, something like that, just to kind of give you guys more of an in-depth. I'd have to think about stuff I'm going to be like predicting for the movie. I've already gone over Foxy's jump scare, or Foxy's running, the puppet, the spring lock scene. Um, I think there's gonna be, I think the both the sequence with the missing kids in the forest with Mike, and the the one scene where Mike is, you know, strapped down and has the saw trap looking thing on his face. I think that's also a dream because we see something so similar with the past night guard. I believe that's also a dream, and he's put in that scenario, and he probably just falls asleep periodically, like each night or whatever, you know, because we've seen him fall asleep at least one time in the trailer, so he's probably gonna fall asleep every now and then and witness the missing kids, or have a nightmare about the animatronic stuffing him in a suit, or something along those lines. I'm still not sure why Vanessa is like a whole part of this. I mean, we're pretty sure she's gonna get like badly injured. I don't think she's gonna die. Um, I also think Matt Pat's gonna be in it. I don't know when or whatever, but I have this just sinking feeling. I don't know for sure though, but it's not like Markiplier where I'm like, yeah, there's no way he's gonna be in it. He was filming his movie. I just don't see how that would make sense. Matt Pat, on the other hand, I feel like that would be somewhat more likely. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Like, he'd be a detective, or I don't know, like just a cop. I see him more as a cop more than the detective. I feel like having him be a detective would be too on the nose or something. Like, it'd be a cool cameo. It's just like Corey Kenshin and Daco and Rad and all them. Like, I thought it was really cool. Yeah, I think that's really all the main predictions. Oh, the other one is the living tombstone being at the credits of the FNaF movie. I I am very confident that that's going to be a thing, just because it would kind of remind me of, if you've, you know, Sonic movie, Mario movie, they both had like the end credits be an homage like the original theme, and like kind of bring them back. I feel like the FNaF movie credit sequence is going to be something super similar, where it has the Living Tombstone theme playing, and it's going to have like a bunch of stuff from all the past games showing up. Like, it's going to have like new Scott animations or something like that, like Scott's remastered, you know, if you kind of get what I'm saying. It's gonna show arcade games and all that. I would hope that would be the best thing ever. That would make me so happy if it did. At that point, I would probably get emotional, because I'd be like, wow, I've been waiting 8 years and I just finished watching the FNaF movie after waiting so long. But yeah, I don't want to hold you guys. If you guys are watching to this point, I'll thank you so much for watching. If you want to watch me ramble for more, I'll definitely make that some point in the future. Just subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you think on this whole situation regarding the poor reviews on the box office, and or not the box office, but the reviews on the FNaF movie, and what you think will be in the FNaF movie if you haven't seen it already. Please do not spoil anything regarding the FNaF movie in the comments, at least until the 27th. Or better yet, the 28th, because I'm seeing it later at night on the 27th. So I'd say wait until the 28th before you make any comments regarding actual spoilers of the movie. But yeah, so I'm going to sign off here. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time after the FNaF movie. Peace.